listening to PM in Tonga with John Pulu.
Malo ni ho e ki pia moe kakai whanua koe tau polo kalama PM and Tongaini. We do hope you're enjoying the program so far. It's just after 5 p.m. for us here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Koe whakamaria ko ni tau ki wakai heni ki he malae o sipoti. Now Tonga, New Zealand and Australian-based players will represent for the very first time the Tongan Women's Rugby League 9's team at the upcoming South Pacific Games in Honiara, Solomon Islands, next month. Joining us right now is the Madam Coach, Monica Henry. Monica, maloe tau mau e whiawhini.
Olo tau lava, John.
Hey, this is some fantastic news, Monica. This is a big deal. Tell us more.
So yeah, this is going to be the first ever Tongan Women's Rugby League 9's team that will compete at the South Pacific Games in Honiara, Solomon Islands. And what makes this team special, there's no politics involved. We're passionate about the game, so there's no politics. We have 10 local players from Tonga, which makes it very special. And we have 5 overseas players. 4 players from Auckland, New Zealand, and 1 player from Sydney, Australia, that will combine to represent Tonga. So that's how special this team is. Different from other teams that I know that are playing for Tonga right now. So it's the first time ever that they're actually going to combine, like 3 different countries who represent Tonga.
Maari, Aupito, tell us the amount of groundwork in the background to make sure something like this happens, and why this is the first time.
Yeah, so for us Tongan people, if you can think back a few years ago, there was the law and these guidelines as to women weren't allowed to play sport. They put a ban there in Tonga on women in sport, so all the contact sport was banned. And there was a big uproar from New Zealand, Australia, and the States and the UK. So they just introduced just this year. So every year I go to Tonga. I love going to Tonga, and it's not really a holiday. It's like so I'm a teacher by trade, so I love volunteering my time. So I just want to say a big thank you to the NRL, to Tawake Whangupo, who's the NRL manager. And just this year, they came to fruition with the under 16 girls. So first time they've included the girls teams from within the high schools in the NRL competition. So from there was a big talk. Obviously, the women's sevens in Tonga has already been established before the 9's. So the majority of our players from Tonga are actually rugby players, and they have played for the national sevens. So yeah, there was a big talk around it, and we just prayed about it. And in God's timing, everything worked out. I just happened to be in Tonga for my school holidays, and I knew I was just going to help. And then through Tawake Whangupo, through God's calling, there were from what I know, there was 2 other coaches who were approached, weren't available, and they couldn't commit. So there I was in God's timing. Then I was selected to be the head coach for the women's team. And what made it a lot easier for me was because I've already taught in 5 of the high schools there in Tonga. So I already have connection to the staff of Moe Fusifonua, the NRL there in Tonga. So I have a lot of connections, and just having the personal connections to the players, parents, which made my job a lot easier. And my last holiday in Tonga, I pretty much had my school holidays, was giving up, sacrificing my time to coach and help out with the local players there in Tonga.
Was it an easy or was it a difficult task to round up some potential players for the team? Because I'm really happy to hear there's 10 local players that you were able to put together, and 5 from overseas.
Yeah, so from the competitions there in Tonga, they have the NRL competition from the schools. Then they've had the sevens, and they're already having their own league tournament. I mean, the different tournaments in Tonga. So I didn't have anything with the selection of the Tongan players, so which was good. So there was already people there before me. who were already there before me. So I had Te Aisoane, Whane, Whangwhanu, Whetu Afe. So there was the local players was fine. They were already selected beforehand. And with the overseas players, so obviously Tavake was very tight for time. And we would have loved to have probably a few more ladies from Australia, but being that they had contracts and they were pretty much locked in, there was a few that who we wanted, but they weren't up for they weren't available. So there was a deadline that Vake had to commit, and luckily, I've already coached some of these players. I've already managed them through various teams through Hakola and through other Auckland teams and things. So yeah, luckily I just believe it was God's calling with the players that we do have, and our honorary player from Australia. Kim Nikoa. So she's our honorary Australian player who was the MMT captain and the 22 squad. So the ones from New Zealand have all played reps. They've played for Tonga. Some have played for Hakola. So we have a good mixture, and it's a very young team, pretty much all in their 20s.
Toto ato, Pito, and tell us about your program. I know that you will travel to Tonga next month to join the local players over there, and then from there you'll head over to the Solomons, eh?
Yes, so we pretty much are very blessed. So our Tongan players are fine. There's no financial sacrifice for them, but for myself and our overseas players here, just want to put it out there. We do have a fundraising social this Friday at the Trident Tavern on 69 Selwyn Street. It's pretty much where all the Tongans hang out. So we have a fundraising social there, $20, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. So if you can attend the social, that'll be amazing. But if you can't, you can still donate. You can find me on Facebook, Monica Henry, and I've put the details there. So at the moment, we have 3 weeks in the preparation for us to go from here to Tonga on the 11th of November. Then we will be training and we'll go into camp and then prepare to leave Tonga on the 16th of November. So we've got 6 days, to prepare with our local players as well as our overseas players from here. Then we'll fly out from Tonga on the 16th of November. And obviously we have to acclimatise and adjust to the weather,
Cool, yeah.
the culture, and the opening will be on the 19th of November in the Solomon Islands.
Toto ato, Pito. This is massive for us to take part in the Pacific Games for the women's 9's. What do we know about some of the other teams that are competing in this particular sport?
Yeah, so we've got the likes of Fiji, there's Samoa in there. We've got, I know New Zealand's in there, Papua New Guinea. Yeah, there's probably like, I think 5 to 6 teams that are already in there. So obviously, from what I know, a lot of those players are predominantly touch players and tag players, and then some have come from 13s. So I think for Tonga, it's new to them because they usually, well, in Tonga you play 13s, so it's adjusting to a faster game. So in league terms, it would be our equivalent of playing 7s in rugby, so just with 9s, which is a lot quicker, and you're going to be a lot fitter and faster.
Well, we wish you the very best, Coach, with the preparations, but please remind us one more time the fundraiser. Ki he kakai whanua, ki nau mea I o ku teu ke whaiha ki I tokoni whakapaanga ma ai tau timi. Give us the details.
So yeah, just one more time. So this Friday, the 27th of October, sorry, not November. The social will be held at the Trident Tavern, which is based at 69 Selwyn Street, Onehunga, and it's live DJ Bate from 7 p.m. Balangi time, not Tongan time, to 2 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, it's pretty much to help us with our return airfare. So just in case you're asking where's the money going, won't be going in our pockets. It's pretty much to help us with our return airfares. And you must keep in mind we're actually taking time off work, and some of us are going without pay. So that's pretty much why we're having the fundraiser, just to help with the expenses,
Bless you,
the
sis.
travel expenses.
Malo si ofa I tau whanua, especially the sport as well. We see the popularity with league, of course with rugby in the past, but great to see the growth with women in this particular code. Ofa lahi atu ki a koe e Monica, and thank you once again for joining us on our Polokalama. We're so proud of you and the girls.
Thank you so much, Ofa atu. Thank you.
Ofa lahi atu. Ho e ke pia mo e kakai whanua ko Monica Henry, ko ka mai ke tau Polokalama. Tau ki i wakai